Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Troy Fullwood with Pinnacle-Investments and the Thriving Investor. And got an interesting question in today about hotels. Okay, I'm not a hotel fan. I'm not a hotel buyer, but some of you out there might be. So that would be useful to answer this. But here's here's what I want to focus on. Okay, and this was it says I'll leave some of the names out. It says, all right, it's kind of a paragraph of things. It says, I don't know if I mentioned to you, but the gentleman I work with has a relationship with some Wall Street groups and gets private off-market deals from a holding company. Okay. I cannot post pictures or ads on the internet. Okay. If I find some investor / Facebook or LinkedIn who is interested in hotels, I request their information. I let them deal with them. I'm kind of leaving some names out there. When they contact them, they request a proof of funds and LOI in order to get access to the financials. What happens is these investors are not investors, they are brokers, and they request the information in order to shop the deal around. True. So we have yet to get any POF or LOIs for the hotels. Understandable. We get a couple of bogus POFs that were over a year old and mostly all crossed out. Got it. I did not look at it. It did not look professional at all. We don't have a problem dealing with a broker, but most don't have a true buyer. True. He won't allow that because the holding company specifically told him not to advertise the deal on the internet. Okay, only deal directly with true buyers. Understandable. They gave us a couple of deals to see what we could do with them. They gave us several hotels located in New York City to see if we could sell them. One of the hotels is in Queens, can go between 17 to 20 mil. The other four hotels, 4 stars in New York City, price range of 70 to about 125 mil. I'm trying to find out cash buyers who purchase hotels and commercial assets of this magnitude. Okay. Do you suggest another direct source for cash buyers? Okay. So there's a couple of things really, really wrong with this whole thing. Number one is if a holding company is sitting there on hotels and assets of this magnitude, they don't need you and they don't need me. Okay. Just let's be honest about it. They don't need either one of us. They already have the resources and the connections of people who can write a 50, 60, 70, 80, $100 million check to buy a hotel. And who are those people that buy those types of hotels? People who are in the hotel business, the hospitality business. Well, if you put together an entire, database of hotel owners around the world, it's probably not that big of a list. I don't know how big, but I would say it's probably less than, I'm going to guess 5,000. Okay. Now that's not talking about the little small, tiny mom and pop, type bed and breakfast, because they're not really even a buyer for this type of product. The people who are buyers for this type of product are hotels like the MGM Grand and Hilton and Marriott and the W Hotel. Those are the brands that have the financial capital and wherewithal to come in and buy something and strike that check of this size. People who might be interested in it, who are tire kicking, the chances of them pulling the trigger and feeling comfortable enough to spend that kind of money is really a long shot at best. You're not going to find a buyer out on social media, whether it's LinkedIn or whether it's Facebook, broadcasting their proof of funds saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's just not how the business works. So looking for those people in those places is a huge waste of time. because that's not where they hang out. Okay. You have to figure out very quickly who would be a buyer of this magnitude. And how you do that is you go after and you seek out who in the hospitality industry is buying properties. Now, I don't know if these are trophy properties or what, but they all seem to be kind of located in the Manhattan area. Well, who buys hotels in Manhattan? Other Manhattan hotel owners. How do you find that out? Public records. Public records. Go to a title company. They can pull the public records on who, in fact, is buying hotels in Manhattan or who owns the hotels that are currently in Manhattan, and can probably produce a pretty extensive list of buyers. But here's the thing. Wouldn't the holding company already have that list? Wouldn't the holding company already be marketing to those people? And if they're not marketing to those people, what are they doing? If they're out there wasting your time or my time saying, hey, let's go do this together, won't this be fun? What they're really doing is they're baiting you into something that's not going to produce a result or a payday for you. It'll make it sound fun. You'll spin your wheels a lot. You may have the opportunity to develop some connections, but the chances of you putting money in your pocket are really a long shot at best. So unless you're traveling in those circles on a regular basis, in other words, you've built up those relationships. If you've done that, that's a little bit different angle. Then again, you wouldn't be writing me an email like this either. Just FYI. So my advice, to go out and ask somebody on social media for a $20 million proof of funds, all you're doing is attracting the wrong type of attention to you. And all you're doing is attracting the wrong type of buyer, because they're not really buyers. They're just fake tire kickers. And they're trying to waste your time. And what they're really trying to do is get a hold of that hotel to go shop it all over social media, which is a waste of their time as well, because that's not where the buyers are for this magnitude of a property. Those buyers run in very tight-knit circles. They have their relationships that they built, and you have to go, find what those circles are. Typically, they're part of networking groups or hospitality supported type organizations where you can go in there and you can start having conversations with these folks, especially for hotels. These look to be somewhere between 20 million and 125 mil. So pretty high end, what I would consider to be high-end hotels, to whatever degree that is there in New York. So when you get these kind of relationships, and trust me, we get them across our desk as well. Hey, Troy, go out there and do this. My first question is, why don't you go out there and do that? Why aren't you guys doing that? Why aren't you guys making these contacts? Because, Warren Buffett knows where to invest his money, so he doesn't need Troy's help or anybody else's help to do that, because he's built his model to do that. Well, the same thing is true with these holding companies and Wall Street firms. They know where to invest their money and who to work with. And so if you're a stranger and you come out of the woodwork and you don't have a proven track record, you oftentimes just spin your wheels. Now, it sounds fun and it's exciting and can be somewhat, educational, but it's not rewarding in the sense of monetarily benefiting yourself. So when I get these kind of calls, which I do, I typically will, shut them down relatively quickly, because I know that I'm going to be wasting my time and they're going to be wasting their time, because that's maybe not a niche that I'm, intimately involved in. So I'm not going to take it on, because I know it'll move my train in a different direction. Although the numbers sound sexy, the numbers sound like fun, but at the end of the day, can this produce revenue for my family, my office, my company, and can I bring value to them? And the answer is no, I can't. I don't have that, network. So that being said, I'll leave you with that. Try and watch out for this kind of stuff, because ultimately it's a time waster and a lot of energy gets wasted as well. That being said, this is Troy Fullwood with Pinnacle-Investments and The Thriving Investor. Hey, feel free to leave some comments down below. Give us a big thumbs up and share this to the big world wide web, your friends, family, and associates. All right, that being said, have a great day. Take care. Bye now.